Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. Are you ready to take control of your health? At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. Say goodbye to long waits and office visits. Check your health on your own terms with 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today and free yourself from traditional medicine. That's the number 4uhealth.com.
Pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about comic books, costumes, facts, boots, and other stuff.
In this week's issue, World's Finest Wednesday.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes, or specifically another World's Finest Wednesday edition of Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach, joined as always by the melancholy one, Mr. Mike, as we dive in into today's World's Finest Wednesday.
So
which will make
melancholy
sense here in a minute. It's sad, right?
Right. But I'm saying melancholy is like halfway point, right? Between happy and distraught. Right? Wouldn't you think melancholy is like right in the middle? Isn't it kind of like
really? I think that melancholy is like being really sad.
I thought melancholy was like I don't know.
No, I thought that being melancholy was like being really like actually.
Now I did
sad.
visit a melon colony one time. That was an entirely different thing.
A colony that was ran by.
They only grew melons.
Oh.
Yeah, all melon diet.
Huh.
It's people.
Whoa.
Nobody had scurvy.
So it was people that ate melons. I thought it was like
they
a
grew the
colony of melons.
No. They grew and ate melons. That's all they were. We're just melon eaters. Well, that sounds like an insult, doesn't it? If you said to somebody, "You melon eater."
Well, I feel like
Fucking
directly.
melon eater.
I feel direct. I'm gonna have to beep that out because it was so early in the episode.
Beat it out.
Beep it out.
Oh.
You know that YouTube does that. That if you curse too early,
If you say melon eater?
No, but if you like curse too early.
Oh, I didn't. I said fubbin'. That fubbin' melon eater.
Whatever. I'm gonna have to go bleep it just to be safe. If you would have just waited like 10 more minutes, and
They
I wouldn't have had to.
all those melons.
Yeah, you got to be like YouTube. Just is.
Yeah.
YouTube does like what your brother did. Well, not yours because you're an only child, but like of what
I ate
like
him in the womb.
But like what that one family member did of where like you'd ask them to do something and they do just like either just enough or a little bit.
Yeah.
YouTube's just like they'll watch the first 5 minutes and be like, yeah, no, there's no cursing in there of like an hour and a half video.
Sure.
So like if we could get through, but I'll leave it. Who cares? Anyway,
so I gotta
this
wait.
is a-
I gotta wait till like an hour in before I can say the T word.
no, you just only have to wait like 10 minutes.
What?
I don't know what the.
That would be it.
Oh man, so we're just getting them right on the board. I feel like sometimes it's like I tell you things and I'm like I shouldn't have told him because he's gonna do it now then.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because you love rules. That's
Don't put that fork in that light socket.
That's what I'm.
Whoops.
Did I tell you the story of?
No.
Real quick before I break off on the story.
Yeah.
Bros, Foes, and Heroes.
Oh
we're a
shit, that's a
podcast.
show we're on.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're a podcast where each week, right now, twice a week usually,
Yeah.
we break down comic book characters or stories for you. I'm Zach, he's Mike, and that's what we do.
Hello.
And every Wednesday, we focus on more of the Silver Age of what it's called of comics, which is from like, I think, 54 to 74.
Okay.
56 to 74.
I did not know that. I
whatever
didn't
it is.
realize when the Silver Age was.
Yeah, here, I'll give it to you directly. It actually might be a little bit later. It might be into the 60s and not the 50s.
Golden Age, you got to pay extra for that in Reno.
The Silver Age of comics, as I pull out my handy-dandy notebook, it is 56 to 70.
56 to 70. And who set that? Like, where did that come from?
I don't... From the interwebs, Mike.
Okay. Well, I just don't know, like, how do you decide, and do you know when you're in it?
And that's the thing I've never understood
has
with
to be
ages,
over,
because like the
right?
Bronze Age
Yeah.
of comics
Had nothing to do with bronze.
and it's 70 to 85.
Okay.
That's the Bronze Age.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Why?
Because the golden age was before that. Then the
Somebody
golden
tell
age
us this.
is
Why?
like the public domain stuff we cover. That's like 38 to 56.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's what your
Okay.
your ages are. So we usually cover Silver Age stuff on this. We titled it World's Finest Wednesday because there was a comic called World's Finest, which it's a lot of Batman and Superman adventures together that are
There's a
really stupid,
there's a
that are
Batman.
funny. He
There's
is,
a
yeah.
Batman.
They're really silly, they're really funny. But that's where the Wednesday gets its
you
name
gotta-
from. It. But we stay in the Silver Age and we stay with the silver.
Fuck me. You got
Another one.
a Batman over there too somewhere.
Oh, I have a Batman's. I have a.
Point to that.
I'm trying.
Shit, I can't point in the right direction. What happened here? There it is.
It's right
It's over there.
There's my. Actually, that's Judge Dredd. Batman.
Weird
No, Batman's
point.
back there behind.
It says
him.
Gotham.
It does say. It says Gotham.
I can't even
Judgment,
read, and I can see that.
Judgment on Gotham. I switch those out every now and then. We had Helena Winthorne of the Tom King. And
Helena Carter?
Billiquis Evely. The latest thing that Tom King and Billiquis Evely did. You know, speaking real quick before we get into it, Mike.
We're gonna talk about Helena Carter.
No, we're gonna talk
Fantastic.
about Supergirl.
Oh,
Woman of
the
Tomorrow.
movie?
Yeah, you know they're already shooting that now, right?
Are they?
Yeah, about a couple. Maybe
Who's
about.
in it? Helena Carter?
No, did you ever watch? We've talked about
Is that
this.
an actual person? Is Helena Carter a real person?
Helena Bonham Carter is right, isn't that?
Helena Bonham Carter, right?
That's, I'm blanking on names. I'm seeing his face. Not Edward Scissorhands. Yeah, Edward Scissorhands. Tim Batman.
Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Tim Batman.
Isn't that Tim Burton's wife? Isn't that Helena
Oh,
Bonham
Tim
Carter?
Batman.
Tim Batman.
Yeah, I think
Tim
so.
Batman
I think you're right.
Scissorhands.
Tim Batman Scissor Feet. Sure.
Feet? I said hands.
Says
and you
her
came back with feet.
God, you can't
we
have
are
carpet
off-
around that fucker.
We are so off the rails. You have dropped so many
I'm so
F
sorry.
bombs already.
He just shredded. He shreds the carpet everywhere he
man.
goes.
Anyway,
Cut.
so all that to say is we focus on something from the Silver Age.
Tim Batman Scissor Feet. There it is. There's your shirt from the episode. Tim Batman Scissor Feet. That's right.
I wish that we could like have friends with somebody who would while they, would find their favorite moments and just like doodle it, and we can make T-shirts out of it.
If we had a
I would
person
do that. I'm like,
who would draw a thing, I need a Tim Batman Scissor Feet right now.
There we go. I was also
Hey
explaining.
there, Zach. How are you?
I gotta look at the door that leads to the air conditioner.
It goes the
over
wrong
here.
friggin' way. I have to look over here. I'm just looking at a light.
So, wow, the people who are listening to this episode are
Yeah.
probably hating us right
Yeah.
now.
Hey,
the people
audio
who are watching
friends.
it too. Okay, so let's get into what today's episode is after I
Yeah,
explain
please,
it.
let's do it.
We are going to focus on
Superman's junk.
Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen.
Same thing.
We know, you and I, we know Superman. We also know his pal, Jimmy Olsen.
Oh, yeah.
Cub reporter for the Daily Planet.
Cub reporter.
I don't know what a cub reporter is, really.
Reports only on baby bears.
I assume that, but that's what they call him a lot in these stories. But we have specifically issue number 125 from
Can I say
December.
something just real quick? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, let me get through this
Oh,
real
okay,
quick, and
okay.
then you can
Please,
say your point.
go for it.
We're looking at Superman's
Sorry, I was looking at
pal,
the wall anyway. I'm going to look over here.
Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, volume 1, issue number 125 from December of 1969. So it still falls in the
69.
Silver Age. Our cover artists here: Kurt Swan, Murphy Anderson, and Gaspar Saladino. The story that we are covering is Superman's Saddest Day. Writers Leo Dorfman, penciled and inked both by Pete Costanza, no relation to George. Our editor, Mort Weisinger, who is the editor for most of these stories we cover because he was the main editor at DC at the time. Also, E. Nelson Bridwell. Now, Mike, go ahead
E. Nelson Bridwell.
with what you were saying. None other than.
Oh, we were saying something about Cubs, and so I had a thought about a bear.
What's that?
We're in Waco, Texas, and the home of Baylor University, right? Go Green Bears, I think is what they say, right?
Go
Green
Bears.
Bears. They have literal bears on that campus in a pit, right?
That's true.
Mascots,
Yeah.
right? Number one, I think it's cruel, right? Because you're keeping a couple of bears in a college pit. That just sounds terrible. But go Green Bears. But one of them died recently.
Yeah.
Lady the bear died. And I got to tell you something, Zach. I don't know that all these people that were going on Facebook and saying, gosh, I already miss Lady.
Yeah.
I don't know that they actually do. I'm not sure they really knew this bear. You know?
That's true. So you think that
There is a person that records here okay,
Okay.
that we all know and love.
Yeah, I know.
Big Baylor fan.
I feel
was
like
here
I know who
earlier
you're talking.
today.
Yeah, then I know exactly what you're talking about.
They posted something about ladies' demise.
Okay.
Number one, they say that all the Bears are judges. I think that is
Over what?
I think they're ceremonial degrees. I don't think those Bears ever went to class.
Hold on. Wait. What do you mean all the Bears are judges?
Judge lady, Judge Jim,
name
Judge
wise.
Big Bear, whatever. Right?
Judge Big Bear.
Judge Big Bear, Big Bear. She almost gave it up. They posted something. It's going to take a real sleuth to figure this one out. They posted something that said "missing lady." I'm like, really? How often did you go see the bear in the pit on the campus?
I saw it when they brought it out for the football games.
Yes, and I don't know that they're even allowed to do that anymore.
They aren't.
So let the damn Bears go.
Yeah, there's no reason to have live
So
mascots.
number one, let me just say, and this will be the last thing I say, and then we can get to going on this golden age. Superman cries himself to sleep.
Silver Age.
Or whatever.
I love how this is the last thing, and now you're just pausing. Not saying anything.
The reason the Bears are in the shape they are, and I'm talking about the actual Bears,
like
not
the Bears that are
not
located in the habitat, not like Bears as a
not the
whole.
Go Green Bears.
Okay.
Right, because the students like to call themselves bears. You are not a bear. But, I mean, some of them may be bigger and hairier, you know. But
yeah, I know.
still.
I get it.
The reason the Bears were in the shape they were in is because they used to force feed them Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper soda.
Seriously?
Because Dr. Pepper is made here in Waco. So every time they would have like a football game, they'd bring one of those damn bears onto the field, and they'd pour one of these. I don't know if you can see it behind me. You see those big ass bottles of Dr. Pepper back there?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Those are the ones they used to give to the Bears on the sideline.
You're kidding.
No, all the Bears. I want everybody. I want to be very clear on this. All the Bears that are ceremonial judges on that campus that are kept in a pit all developed diabetes because they force-fed them Dr. Pepper with pure cane sugar in it. They all became diabetics.
Sorry,
and then at this point in 2025, when Lady dies, we're all
Judge
ladies, pardon me. It's like also when I think ceremonial degree, I automatically think Bill Cosby because he got a couple of those degrees, and look where he's at. But
I think he got one.
he may have. Yeah, and that was just because he walked through the campus. They were like, "Oh, hey, we got a ceremonial degree laying around. But you got to go get it from the bear." That's the thing about ceremonial degrees at Baylor. You have to go in the pit to get it. It's insane. I don't like where this university is headed. Now, it is a private university, so they can do what they want, but
We're so far.
there's got to be some public outcry on this thing. They're killing bears off with too much sugar, and they're giving Bill Cosby honorary degrees. Please, dear God, save us all.
We got way too far off the track.
I'm so sorry.
This.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know
Never
how
mind.
we're
All right, Jimmy Olsen, save us all.
gonna-
That is a real thing, though. They really did. They really did force feed full sugar Dr. Pepper to bears on the sideline so much that they developed diabetes, and they had to stop letting them drink Dr. Pepper.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story.
And then
I say
the bear
that
died.
I've already told you the story, and I'm looking at where we are. We're about 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
So when I worked at the radio.
Oh, so
station,
now we're gonna cuss? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is I think I've told you the
So
story
now I don't
before
even wanna.
of how I accidentally dropped multiple f-bombs
Yes,
on the
yes.
on the radio, and that I was just telling him how we were trying to get something recorded and how he was just playfully, but just fucking me, man.
Yeah.
So what you and Mike,
Yeah.
that's what you've done with the first part of this episode. I don't know how I'm going to be able to just pull it out. Oh man. Anyway, okay, let's try to recover from this, and let's look at today's episode.
By the way,
or today's
lady, I miss you already.
judge lady, Mike. Damn it.
Judge lady, I miss you
I
already.
feel so insensitive about that, and I don't know why. Because obviously, I don't understand
I
why
think
there's a
Bears
need
in a
for him
better
at all.
place, honestly.
Yeah,
And
not
that's
capped up in captivity.
RFK
on a
Jr.'s trunk
college
is where
campus.
it's at. He immediately drove down here and picked up the carcass of the bear.
Oh, man. Okay. So,
Measles, schmeasles. Put that bear in my trunk.
hey, remember when we had that guy, Mr. Measles, that threw measles spots at
I do
Spider-Man?
remember that. Yeah.
All right.
He was a terrible.
He was. All right, got to check to make sure, because I got to get Mike out of here on time. So
All
let's
right,
get
let's
to
go.
this episode. All right, this issue. Oh, man.
I got a bear funeral.
I'm going to have to edit out like 15 minutes of just talk before we got into anything.
No, don't
Fine, I'll leave
People love it.
Are you blurry? Never mind.
No.
So,
No, I'm feeling good.
I've just been
Thanks.
drinking. So, we have Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, number 125 from December 1969. And our cover here is Superman crying and Jimmy Olsen with, what do you call those things?
Teardropper,
Yeah, okay, like a teardropper. Yeah,
right?
Like, is that like,
Eyedropper. Not a teardropper, an eyedropper.
yeah, but you use it to suck liquids like out of like medicines
You
and
do,
stuff, or
yeah.
like other things like, but
like
you also
say
use
you
it
had
to
a tincture that you needed to ingest.
put underneath your tongue.
Or put underneath your
You use a
tongue.
dropper. Yeah, he has a dropper like that.
Uh-huh. As
But-
the French say, the tongue gay.
The tongue gay.
Mm-hmm.
As Superman is just bawling, and Jimmy is using it to collect his tears. And Superman says, Jimmy, what kind of pal are you? How can you laugh at this heartbreaking movie? And Jimmy just says, don't ask questions. Just keep bawling, Superman. Every teardrop is precious to me.
What the hell's he watching?
Featuring Superman's Saddest Day. You want to take a guess?
Are they going to tell us what he's watching?
I guess kind of they do.
Okay. I think it's home movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I
from
From
what
the family
is-
he never had.
Okay.
Films of bears being slaughtered in the woods.
Remember when just a week ago a couple more weeks ago when we were go back in time to stop or try to stop Abraham Lincoln from being assassinated?
Yeah, I do remember that.
I
Oh,
wanted
it's
to
a
come
horse!
the very first page when you turn this open is you're like, hey, I'm ready to read about Superman's saddest day.
Horse!
Boom, giant stallion mural. Sign me up. And Mike, you might ask yourself, because it says $1 for 4 color prints.
Yeah.
And if you buy those, you get that full color masterpiece there that's in black and white. So you gotta take them
I
on their
can't wait to
word.
see the color.
But $1 in 1969, I looked it up. It's about $8.60 today
I'd probably pay that.
to get that giant.
I mean, look at that
Stallion
giant horse
mural.
masterpiece.
Where would you hang that?
Well, it's an original oil painting reproduction.
Yeah,
Those are a lot of words.
So it's just a print, then, isn't it? Essentially.
When you purchase these 4 magnificent thoroughbreds.
Ooh, now is it
Well,
$1
it's just pictures
or
of.
$1? Oh, it's $1.
All 4
plus
prints in
25.
glorious color.
Hold
Only
on,
$1.
plus 25 cents. So you're looking probably
Yeah.
it's going to be
That's the
closer to
government.
$11. You still down with that?
Yeah.
Order 2 sets of all 4 prints for only $2.
Ooh. For only $22, I can have all these horses on my
So
wall.
I thought it's 16 by 20. That's decent size, isn't it?
It's okay.
Is that
I
like
mean,
those
36 by 24
those
are big
posters
movie
that aren't
prints.
over where
yeah,
I'm- oh, yeah,
36
they're-
by 24 is what those are.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, if you cut those in half, it's about that big. How big did you say it was?
26 by 20.
No. What does it say it is? 16 by 20?
Yeah,
that
16
what
by
you said?
20. I can't figure out how to get
16
on
is
it.
about this big. Does
We
that
can't, it's
help?
not showing on
Does that
camera.
help right there? If I say 16,
Yeah, I
it's about
can't
this
see your
big?
I can't
Is
see
that
where your
right?
hands are at all. Yeah.
Now, audio people, video people just felt your pain. That's right.
All right, so let's get into Superman's saddest day.
Oh, look how sad they are.
When the tears of these 4 mix together. Oh, I'm sorry. It tells you before. These are the tears of a clown.
Mm-hmm.
These are the tears being shed by Superman, who is a Kryptonian.
Mm-hmm.
These are the tears, and it's going, I guess, for the audio people.
Mm-hmm.
It shows Jimmy Olsen holding a test tube that's being filled with tears. And it shows above it, like, just little cut 4
cuts of
different
people, yeah.
faces together of people crying. And
First
it's
one
like
is
they're
a
all
clown.
being funneled down into his test tube.
Yeah.
And it goes, these are the tears being shed of a king, so a clown, a Kryptonian, because it's Superman, a king, and these are the tears from a killer.
Okay.
Now, when all these tears of these 4 mix together in this vial, their result will be to create a strange and awesome power. But to accomplish this, Jimmy Olsen must cause his best pal, which isn't Perry White, it's Superman, super grief, or to suffer grief on Superman's saddest day.
Okay.
So, it all starts
Oh, this thing is washed out. Isn't
when it is
it? Yeah. No, it's great.
69.
Yeah.
when Jimmy is out swimming, like he's on vacation, and he decides to go scuba diving, like most people do on vacation.
Oh yeah, in their pink scuba suit. Sure.
And suddenly, the undertow kind of pulls him underneath, and it takes him to the ship, this old abandoned ship. And he's like, "Oh, let me see if there's any cool like treasure on this ship." And he swims over there to it, and he goes and he looks. But after looking over there, he's like, "Man, it's already been picked clean. There's nothing here but barnacles and this old book." Now, the old book says,
books do well? Survive in water.
Yeah, no, I mean, it looks very much intact to be stuck underwater
ancient, but sure.
It's not going to fall apart as soon as he grabs it. But the book says, "Ye lost oracles of Nostradamus."
Okay.
So
on a ship.
If I write a book, I'm not going to entitle my book "Ye Lost Oracles of Zach" while I'm writing it, because I'm not expecting it to be lost.
Yeah. Well, it's marketing. You know, that's all it really is.
True.
It's just marketing. If anybody knew about marketing, it was Nostradamus. I can't even get through that sentence. That was rough.
Oh, man. So Jimmy pulls it back up to the shore, and as he has it out there, he's looking through, and it's like, man, the lost oracles of Nostradamus. He was that 16th century prophet.
He was.
Whose predictions all came true.
Bullshit.
Because we want to sell it to kids, though.
Yeah, it's true.
But he's like, man, he's looking through the pages, and it's like, they're all faded except this one. So how lucky that this one, prophecy that he found is going to require who it requires.
It's like if I said all slam poetry is great.
Most slam poetry is great.
It's not.
Most slam poetry is great.
Okay.
So as he's looking through it, the one that's not faded, the one prediction in Ye Lost Oracle of Nostradamus says,
Lost Oracle.
"Who gathers tears from..."
Why would they need to put the word ye on it?
I don't know.
Why did it just Lost Oracle?
We got to show that it's old, Mike.
Lost Oracle.
So Jimmy reads
Nudicles.
It's "Who gathers tears from kings and clown, from killer and Kryptonian of renown, and mixes the potion quick as he can, will acquire a power unknown to man."
So Nostradamus knew about Krypton.
That's as he's sitting there and he's thinking, and he's like, tears from 4 different people.
Yeah.
Probably taps into some supernatural energy. And like, Nostradamus knew about Kryptonians. Like, Superman would arrive on Earth someday. Like, of course, that's why all of his predictions came true. He's so smart, dude. Like, he's like, yeah. And then he's trying to think, well, I wonder what this power is. And the first thing he thinks of is that anything he touches can turn into diamonds, like the Midas touch.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly
so
what
he has.
did.
But it doesn't work because we're given a picture of him
touched a
holding a
hot
hot dog.
dog.
But he's holding a hot dog. The bun is still a bun. It's just the hot dog itself has been replaced by
The
diamonds.
gweener is nothing but diamonds.
But that wouldn't be the Midas touch then. The Midas touch isn't like, hey, I can make the thing.
No, everything would turn to a diamond.
Exactly.
Yes.
He
including your womp.
He also speculates, or maybe it'll give me the power of mind over. Maybe it'll give me the power of mind over matter, which to him thinks that I can just float and levitate.
Well, the thing is, like, he just goes straight up.
Well, because he's like,
that's weird.
You guys have fun waiting on the elevator, and he just floats up to where he wants to get in.
Bye, fuckaroos.
So
he just goes away.
So he's like, yep, I'm gonna take it, and he rips this out of the book because he's like, screw that book. I'm not going to take it.
No.
And he takes the potion, just rips it out of the book. And
so he doesn't take the whole damn book?
No, he just takes the potion. That's it.
Oh, Jimmy Olsen, you're a turd ball.
He's an idiot.
He is kind of a moron.
And so he goes back to his car, and he takes more vacation time to go hunt down these tears.
Sure. And to eat some diamonds.
So the first place he goes, days later, as a tourist party visits the island.
Days later.
The island of Dominia. So Jimmy's on this tour, and it says entrance forbidden, keep out under the penalty of law, no trespassing. And the tour guide's like, this is where King Miguel lives. Unfortunately, no visitors are allowed. And Jimmy tries to sneak through, and he's captured by the guards.
Okay, I'm sorry. Where the hell is he?
Dominia.
What?
It's not a real place. I'm assuming that it's a country made up for this story.
So days later, he just travels to another country.
Well, he's got to get the tears of a king for this.
Okay. All right, keep going.
We're good.
Yeah.
So, as he sneaks through, he's captured by guards, And they're like, oh, trespassing. The penalty for this is 5 years in the dungeon.
Well,
And
everybody knows that.
And he's like, no, I was looking for a job. So they go, yep, you're hired as our cook. They don't ask him to cook anything. They don't ask for his resume. They're just like, hey, we had a job opening. Here, you can have it. Oh, by the way, this casket that you see being taken back by, that's what happened to our last cook. He's the 4th one this month. Any cook who can't keep up with the king's...
The 4th one this month.
Any cook who can't keep up with the king's appetite gets the axe. And I do mean axe. Like, he's like trying to tell him, we're not making a joke here. You're really going to get fired. Or not, you're really going to get fired. You're really going to get killed. Not just fired. So Jimmy goes, and we are greeted by the king's daughter, Princess Larita, there.
Sure.
And
Princess Larita.
She tells him, like, Senor Olsen, like, I'm the king's daughter, and I warn you, like, my father has an enormous appetite. If you cannot satisfy him, you'll be executed like the rest. And Jimmy's like, all right, I wonder what the prophet Nostradamus would have predicted about my future here. I got a plan. I'm going to be able, you know what his plan is to get the tears of a king from?
What's that?
He's going to make him a sandwich for lunch, and it's a pepper, like it's a...
Oh, it's going to be so
onions.
hot.
It's an onion and red hot pepper sandwich.
Oh, red hot peppers.
That's going to get him to tear up, but it turns out, no.
He loves it.
The king just loves the sandwich.
That is
onions and red
well,
hot peppers.
it's onions and red hot peppers, but it's like 7 feet long.
He loves it so much. They're gonna make it. It's the country sandwich. They're gonna call it the hero sandwich.
Okay. There's no meat on it.
He goes, I introduced the hero sandwich to Dominia, but I can't get the king to cry.
Yeah.
Well, the daughter's hungry, so...
Well, you dumbass. Why didn't you rub the peppers in his eyeballs?
Jimmy makes her a sandwich, and it is of sardines, scallions, and salami. And she asks him, what do you call this one? And he goes, I call it the Superman Special.
She's going to be a stinky gal.
Because only a stomach of steel could digest it. And she's like, oh, you make the best sandwiches, and you're just so handsome and talented, and you're irresistible, and I love you. Like, I want to marry you. She pulls him in front of the king, and she's like, Dad, I want to marry Jimmy Olsen. Like, he's all my life I've been looking for a guy like this. And the king's like, what? And he goes, my daughter married to a commoner, a royal princess, bride of a mere kitchen lackey? And this upsets him. So he starts crying from this. And Jimmy then turns it on and tries to work it out. And he's like, you know what? I can't break your father's heart. And you have to think about Dominia.
I would think he would
Come
cry
on,
because
princess.
of that dumbass little beard he's got.
Or that sandwich that was probably terrible. And he's just like,
too.
you gotta think of your country's needs. And she's like, you're right, Jimmy.
So many tears that there's a puddle.
I'm sorry, but I'll never forget you. And she goes off with her father. And yeah, he uses his dropper and he collects the tears of a king. So next, days later, while he's still on vacation, he takes like 3 weeks of vacation for this. He
just has a job where he's basically a lackey at the newspaper, right? He takes pictures and crap.
Yeah, cub reporter.
Yeah, he's a cub reporter, and cub reporters famously get a month off.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know if you knew that or not.
I did.
The judges ruled on that. Roar! That means we can do it.
R.I.P.
I miss you already.
I feel like because I do. Like, I feel...
Here's the problem I have with it, right? Okay, I'm just super quick.
Right in the middle. Well,
super quick.
A lot of
super quick.
With
super
this,
quick.
But, yeah.
The more times I have to say
quick.
More times I have to say super quick, the longer it's going to take. So super quick. I forgot what I was going to say. No, I have a problem with the Bears being judges, but my biggest problem is the Facebook posts. Right? As soon as somebody dies, people go on Facebook.
Oh, we're going on this brand.
People go on Facebook immediately.
I never know what
like,
rant you're going on.
They're almost immediately like, oh, I miss Gene Hackman so much.
Okay.
No, you don't. You hadn't checked on him in like 6 weeks.
Okay.
You don't miss him.
Here's the thing. In my defense.
Yeah.
In my defense.
You miss Gene Hackman
so much. No, but like when I saw that he passed away, like I was like, oh, and I watched Gene Hackman clips. I didn't post anything about it anywhere, but I was like, oh, and I wanted to remind myself of how good of an actor I thought Gene Hackman was.
But it didn't affect you personally, where you felt like I need to take to Facebook and let everybody know how much I miss Gene Hackman.
Well, I mean, it affected me personally in the sense of I went and I watched clips, but no, I didn't need to tell everybody.
Couldn't even watch a whole movie of his, huh? I see how much you love him.
I did. I watched. And
a runaway juror.
No, I watched it so I could talk to Cam about it. Welcome to Mooseport with him and Ray Romano.
Oh Christ!
Because it's his last.
That's the worst.
Movie. It's the last movie he ever did.
That is awful.
Here's the thing. He is not bad in it.
I didn't say he was. It's
No,
a terrible movie.
I know. It's just, it wasn't terrible. I've seen worse.
Then you're watching the wrong movies because that's a terrible movie.
It
Welcome to
wasn't
Mooseport.
good. It wasn't
So
good.
here, real quick.
I'm just too nice is what it is.
The Welcome to Mooseport thing. The problem was it came out at a time where Ray Romano. Stop rubbing your microphone that way. I'm just kidding. It came out at a time when Ray Romano was super hot. Right, and I don't mean like looks wise. I just mean he was all over.
Wow, are you about to just shit talk Ray Romano now?
He was
what
all
he
over
looks
the
like,
TV
Mike?
and
wow,
stuff.
it's
Right,
so mean of you.
He was all over the. I miss him
How
already.
Vain.
I miss his
How
looks already.
Vain. He used to be people's sexiest man, but now, no, get the hell out of here,
Was
Ray Romano.
Romano ever people's sexiest man? I just don't. I think even Ray Romano would call bullshit on that.
Hold on, is our T-shirt this week? Tim,
I think it's Ray.
Is it Tim Batman Scissor Feet, or was Ray Romano ever people's
I think it's Tim
sexiest
Batman
man?
Scissorfeet presenting people's most sexiest man to Ray Romano. I think that's what that is. That is a hell of a cover.
I have lost this
something.
episode. These are supposed to be our short ones.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
So,
Batman shows up.
no. So a few days later, Jimmy reads that Clarence the Clown, the world's funniest clown, is going to perform
Clarence the Clown
at the circus, and
Yeah.
Batman shows up with movie star Gina Sophia.
Okay.
And
Sure.
because Batman's supposed to be there to guard her $1 million diamonds that
Yeah.
she's wearing.
Yeah. The
Why
ones
not-
that he got out of the hot dog.
Why not wear $1 million diamonds for the circus?
Why wouldn't you?
One would ask. Or maybe just leave them at home.
I'm going to see fucking Clarence the Clown. I mean, what do you think? God,
Oh,
come
man.
on.
So
I'm gonna wear fake jewelry?
Jimmy points out, no costume jewelry for this gal.
No, Clarence can spot it in a heartbeat.
Jimmy goes, she's here to audition Clarence for her new circus film.
What the fuck?
Sorry, I forgot about that.
There's so many leaps of faith that take place in these comics.
Anyway, so he dresses as a lion tamer to try to blend in. Well,
Perfect, because nobody's going to call on the lion tamer at the circus.
exactly. A gorilla grabs the back of it and rips it. Remember, though, Jimmy has some run-ins with gorillas. We covered once where he married one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
He's a gorilla lover.
that was F.U. Superman. He's I think we titled it "Fuck You Superman."
Yeah.
He's our pal Jimmy Olsen, where we did like some of his.
Yeah.
These are just like all the Superman family during like the 60s just got up to some shit, man. It's
know
just
what?
some weird stuff.
You know what sound a monkey makes when he rips Jimmy Olsen's lion tamer outfit off?
Yeah.
That's right.
So here's what I
And he goes,
love. So after he rips it out of it, he's just in a white dress shirt and
Mhm.
green pants, essentially.
He had to be so hot.
And he says, though, without my disguise, I'll stick out like a sore thumb behind the scenes here.
Of course.
As a guy in a white dress
There's
shirt
not a
and
lot of
green
accountants
pants.
hanging out in the back of a circus.
Well, and then he's like, oh no, the cops are on to me. And so
For what?
I don't know.
Impersonating a lion tamer?
He takes off running and
Oh boy, look at this.
he blends in with the crowd. Well, as he shows up, he's like, Clarence's bullfight routine is a riot. Laughter is his business.
That's true. You can't deny that.
But while it's going on, this clown pops out of a Jack-in-the-Box with a bouquet. And
so overplayed.
the woman's like, oh, a bouquet for me? Isn't this Clarence's clever idea? He knows I'm here. This is so sweet.
I'm Sophia
no.
Loretta Calamita.
Sophia, she has two first names.
Sophia Loretta Calamita.
Gina Sophia.
Gina Sophia Loretta Calamita.
Wow, that's a name. Isn't that tomato juice? What is that? Clamato?
No, it's Clamato.
Oh, okay.
Part clam juice, part tomato
Is
juice.
that really what it is?
Yep.
Clam
Why
juice.
wouldn't you love that? Clam juice. Again, sounds like an insult.
Yeah. But
Clam
who
juicer.
drinks that? Oh, man. Anyway, so the clown hops out, but the bouquet isn't for her. It's for Batman. And the clown grabs her jewels, her $1 million diamonds that she had to wear to the circus.
Why did they think homelessness was so much fun back in the day?
Why do you bring
Look
that
at the
up?
clown up at the top. He's got holes in his shoes and he's dressed like a hobo and
I
all
don't
that.
know. It
They
was,
thought, boy, these people that don't live in houses, haul.
I don't know. It was almost 1970.
I get it, sure. Yeah, in 1970, everything changed.
Yeah. So,
We cured homelessness. Thanks, Batman.
so the bouquet gives off. I loved this. So the clown explode like after stealing the diamonds from Gina Sophia. like it's like shot into the air from the Jack in the Box that they were in and rolled over there to it.
Yeah.
And it's shot up. It goes, it's up, up, and away. And I do mean away. And this gas starts to come off from this bouquet. And all Batman can just say is, this is gas.
This is gas. Hey, they don't call him the world's greatest detective for nothing.
So it's like, what is it, Batman? This is gas.
This is gas. Thanks, Batman.
And it knocks Batman unconscious.
Look at him. He goes,
But Jimmy Olsen's there to grab rope and his batarang. And he goes, Batman, I'm an expert at your batarang and bat rope, which I don't know how he is. He'll tell you.
He went to batarang
He
camp.
says, luckily, Batman's partner Robin coached me in the use of all of his equipment since we've teamed up so many times. Okay, sure.
Again, just such a leap.
Here's the thing. It at least explains it better than some other stuff. But so he wraps it around and he throws up as like a lasso and he pulls the clown down into the net and ties him to it. And they get the diamonds back. And oh no, let's remove that domino mask to see who the clown is. It's the Joker.
It's a clown.
Because you couldn't tell it was the Joker because of the domino mask.
You know what makes a great comic?
What?
Is where you have to put a red arrow to show you which panel to read next.
Because
you know the flow works well if you have to put a red arrow on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was going to say that it looked a lot like the Joker.
Well, that's all we talked about.
Yeah.
Like for Mr. Miracle, they went to that 9-panel block because it's so easy for people who don't even read comics to follow.
Sure.
Just
Yeah.
3, 3, 3.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think most peanut strips are 3 panels. So Batman is captured, and we found out it's Joker because we couldn't tell without the domino mask. But he finds it so humiliating. Joker does it. He's been caught by Jimmy Olsen that he starts to cry. So Jimmy uses his dropper to get the Joker's tears.
Sure.
Because
He tears of a clown.
He says, I just remembered the Joker is known as the Clown Prince of Crime. So now we're taking leaps for this.
Just remembered.
So now Jimmy's got the tears of a king, the tears of a clown. Now he needs to get the tears of a killer. So a swift transatlantic journey brings Jimmy to a Near East country where we won't tell you where he's at. But he wants
a quick
a swift transatlantic journey brings Jimmy to a Near East country where ... And that's how he goes.
Only 27 hours later.
And so the authorities there tell him, like, Olsen, you have permission to interview the man who assassinated our prime minister. And Jimmy's like, I've read that a lot of killers, they show remorse or fear when execution is close. Like, maybe I'll get tears out of him that way.
Sure.
But it doesn't work. The guy who killed the prime minister, he goes over and he's like, the prime minister planned to become I don't know what happened with my voice there. The prime minister
Prime Minister.
Hey, y'all, get out of the holler.
Hi, everybody. The prime minister's coming.
The prime minister doesn't plan to become a dictator, y'all. I don't know what the hell that was.
That's funny is what that was.
But the prime minister planned to become a dictator. And he goes, I'd kill him again if I had to. I do not fear death. I die happy.
What a meanie.
And so Jimmy's like, well, that didn't work out. But here's the thing. It has a message because he turns his head in Jimmy Olsen as they're about to
behead the man
who killed their prime minister.
Did you say killed?
Who killed their prime minister.
Okay.
He assassinated their prime minister.
You were saying he killed him.
No, he killed him. He
done killed him. He done killed them prime ministers.
Yeah. Oh, man.
We got to fight for our homeland rights.
But Jimmy goes, I can't bear to look at the beheading.
Well,
Thank heavens they've abolished capital punishment in my hometown, Metropolis. And I feel like it's wanting to be like, we should all.
Yeah.
But you're talking to kids.
Yeah, kids don't care. Fine. Kids would rather see the beheading.
I get that. That's cool. But then...
Is it?
Well, no, not that the kids would rather see the beheading. I'm saying like having a good message for kids. I get it. I support and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But capital punishment feels like a weird one.
Secondly, does feel like a weird one.
It's a made-up city of Metropolis.
Sure.
It's not like you're trying to give it real-world weight.
Well, this is even worse because you didn't even say where it's at.
Yeah, we don't know where it's
just a mid-east city.
But you want to know how he gets this? But after the prisoner pays the extreme penalty...
Oh.
Wait, it looks like someone else besides me was upset by the execution.
What?
Wow, what a twist. So...
It's another guy in a turban.
Yeah, because, I mean...
Yeah, because everybody over there wears a turban.
If we're going to be a little racist, let's be a lot of racist.
You got it.
Comics. That's essentially how they view
Well, it's 1969.
Yeah.
It wasn't 1970 yet.
No, that's
Racism
true.
was still a thing.
Yeah, with homelessness. The executioner is crying from having to kill this man.
But he's technically a killer.
So he uses the dropper to get
Yeah.
the tears from the executioner.
Smart thinking, Archie.
And he's like, excuse
Jimmy
me,
Olsen.
sir, but this is one of the most ironic things I've ever seen. May I have some of your tears as a souvenir? Is what Jimmy asked him. But here the executioner says, yes, Sniff, I know you can't believe your eyes. And he's like, what a twist. I got the tears of the top killer of them all, the executioner. And he's like, yes, my friend, executions are heartbreaking. They always affect me this way. And then Jimmy goes, if that's the way, then why don't you quit your job? And the executioner says, because it's the only trade I know. My father was the official executioner too, and my grandfather before him. What else
down.
can I do?
Yeah.
What else can I do but behead people?
I didn't even train for anything.
They were just like, here, you swing this sword. And
I
that
wanted
has
to
been
be
what
an
I've
artist.
done for the rest of my life.
I wanted to be an artist, and ironically,
Don't you think, here's the
painted
thing,
my finest
don't
painting
have to
in
teach him a
blood.
lot. He can work at the deli.
Yeah, it's true. He could
Just-
just cut up some salamis.
Boom. Hey, got some ham. All right, there we go. Hey, got
Don't
some
know about
roast
ham,
beef I
but
need.
sure.
Hey, turkey. I'm just saying, like, he can use the little meat
Yeah.
grinder to, or he can like just hack at it. I don't know. He doesn't have to kill people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's already great at swinging a sword. He could be a lumberjack. He could be a baseball man.
Baseball man.
who hits baseballs
He can be
real
a ba-
hard.
He can be a
into the
baseball man
ground.
who hits baseballs real hard into the ground. That's right. So all he needs left now is what? The tears of a Kryptonian, right,
That's
Mike?
a great superhero.
That
Right
is
there.
a great
Baseball man
superhero.
who hits baseballs real hard into the ground. He's got a very specific power. I feel like he's going to show up on the next page here.
Stand back.
Stand back. I am baseball man. I hit balls hard into the ground.
The vibration might cause you to fall down.
Your ground will never be the same.
Damn you, Gophers! No, no, it was not. Twist of fate.
Golfers.
Anyway,
What
so
if I kill all the golfers?
Gophers. So Jimmy Olsen uses his Superman watch to page Superman. Remember, he has the
yeah, I
buzzer.
remember because that's when he was Superman's boy toy or whatever. He gave him a watch and said, "Here, call me when you're feeling frisky."
And then, but then he paged him and he told him not to quit paging him to save him.
Yeah,
and shit.
quit
Oh, that-
contacting me on the thing I gave you to contact me on.
That was the one where Superman was going to adopt him, and then
Yes.
Superman was an absolute
Yeah,
dick to him.
Superman was a super dick.
Well, we see why now because this is Jimmy. So
Jimmy's a dipshit.
Oh, Jimmy is an absolute dipshit. So, I gotta
Jimmy.
close some stuff out for computer memory.
Jimmy Olsen,
Jimmy back ribs, barbecue sauce. So,
king of the wild frontier.
Superman shows up, and he shows Superman this, like this
Tear ball.
The Nostradamus page he has. He's like,
Okay.
hey, like look at this. Like it says
at
if
this.
I get all these tears,
Jimmy, why is this so wet?
it'll give me superpowers. And he goes, wait, Jimmy, this mystery superpower might be dangerous and uncontrollable.
Could be.
And Jimmy's like, yeah, what's wrong? Are you worried about a little competition?
That's stupid Superman.
Yeah, he's like, I might get a power even you don't have. Is that what you're worried about, Superman? And Superman goes, okay, I'll go along with this gag, but how can you make me cry? I'm invulnerable to pain and fear, is what he tells him. And don't worry, though. Jimmy's got a plan. He goes, I have an angle, Superman. Just fly me to your fortress of solitude.
Can I ask
Like,
you
essentially
a
claps.
quick question?
It's like, now, what's that?
What happened to Superman's cape?
You don't
Where'd it
tug,
go?
You don't tug on it.
Where'd it go?
Oh, in that panel?
Third panel. Where's it at?
It's wrapped around Jimmy.
Oh, keeping Jimmy warm.
Yeah.
I get it. Sure. He gets very cold. Superman, I'm so
You
cold.
know, I have
Carry
a
me
feeling-
to your super
I have a
place.
feeling they probably did it because, like, the speed of sound and all, like that.
yeah.
But to me, since we know that it's like in Antarctica,
Yeah.
it does seem he's like, I'm gonna be cold.
I'm so cold, Superman. Cover me up. My feet are cold.
Yeah, cover me up, please.
Yeah, big brute.
And so he flies me. He goes, I won't forget this, Superman. When I get my superpower, I'll use it to help you whenever you ask me.
Yeah, butthead.
And Superman thinks he's my best pal, but brother, what an ego. That's what Superman says.
He's my best pal.
So moments later, inside the Fortress of Solitude, they open up the door to the Hall of Memories, and Superman goes, Jimmy, I'd rather not go in there. And he's like, come on, I know how you feel about this, but I need you to go in here. He goes, I hate to do this, but he'll be crying buckets of tears in a minute. and he takes him to the memorial that he has there of his parents, of his dead parents. Jimmy does.
Yeah, look at your dead parents.
That's what he does. He goes, what goes on here? How can you stand before your parents' memorial and not shed a tear? What kind of guy have you that you don't have a heart? And Superman goes, all right, Jimmy, let me explain.
Jimmy, if you knew, I have 3.
Let me explain something to you. He's like, sure I do, Jimmy. Like, before you came here, today is the anniversary of the destruction of Krypton, my home planet. So
What a coinky-dink.
So to commemorate this, I ran off this film of which I recorded the catastrophe with a special camera, which overtakes light waves of the past and recaptures bygone events. They're trying to add science to this.
Jumping Jerusalem, that's convoluted.
Essentially,
I just heard a ding-dong.
I did too.
What happened? Who's at the door?
Oh, you know what we did?
What, Superman?
We had that whole test about not leaving the computer thing up, and I left the computer thing up the whole time. I might have to do the audio.
Okay.
That's Inside Baseball.
Inside
hey, you're
baseball.
not going to know what we're talking about.
Inside Baseball by the guy who hits the balls real hard into the ground.
So, and he's like, I watched the video of me being like sent off in a ship.
The video that he had to
Krypton being
reclaim
exploded.
from video waves and light,
With light.
in the past.
He's like,
for
yes,
future
I
viewing.
watched all this, and I cried a lot. Like, I sobbed so much. So
Yeah, you
essentially,
bitch.
I'm all cried out is what he tells Jimmy.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy goes, I'm sorry, Superman. I understand. But then he's like,
So
wait,
sorry, Superman.
I know just the thing. You've told me about it once before. Film Archive S-305.
It's the one where I pinch your balls real hard until you cry.
Why would a video of it make him cry?
I don't know. It brings up memories. He doesn't like them. He's like, oh, I remember that day. Oh, it hurt so much.
And he's like, Jimmy, no, not that. So what do you think it could possibly be? It's a video of things going on in Smallville.
That's what I'm saying. See, it was basically home movies.
It's
is
a
all it
documentary of
was.
Smallville where you grew up, Superman. You know, all those people, weren't they your friends? I'm sure that, you know, you were friends with all those kids. Don't you miss them?
Oh, they're all so dead.
And he's crying, and Jimmy collects some of his tears.
Wait, who's in the graves?
While he cries.
What does that say?
So as Jimmy is collecting Superman's tears from him sobbing over these home videos, Superman lets us know via Thought Bubble, Jimmy doesn't know that what really made me cry was the shot of the Smallville cemetery where my foster parents are buried. I'll never forget them.
Where they're buried in fresh graves, mind you.
Jonathan Kent and Martha Kent is what it says. But I'll never forget them, the people that parented me.
Big Papa Kent and Little Mama Kent.
Little Mama Kent. So now he adds Superman's tears into the vial, puts the lid on it. Let's see what it is.
What is this power going to be?
And it just glows.
Nostradamus.
It just glows in the test tube. And he goes, what's this? I didn't get any powers. The tears just turned into an incandescent gas, which gives off light. And Superman's like, very interesting, Jimmy. Let me see that. And Jimmy's like, no, whatever. You can have it, Superman. I could have bought one of those things at, like, you know, at a hardware store. Just a glowing tube. He's like, all right, I'll take you back to Metropolis and to the planet. And so he goes when he drops him off. And then he goes back out. Superman, after dropping Jimmy off, goes to an uninhabited world. And while he's there, he goes, Jimmy doesn't know it, but Nostradamus' formula gave him a far greater power than he dreamed. When I checked that vial with my microscope vision, because, you know, Superman has microscope vision. Great Krypton. This vial is glowing with increasing atomic radiation. I must shield it from Jimmy with my invulnerable body until he gets out of here. And so he goes to this world to explode it because he throws it, and I guess like he throws the vial. I don't know if the vial hitting the earth, the uninhabited world.
He threw a baseball real hard into the ground.
I don't know if it hitting the ground causes it to, or he uses his vision to explode.
Karoom.
But there's a massive like mushroom cloud explosion.
Mushroom clouds make the noise karoom.
As Superman just stands there watching this atomic bomb go off, and he goes, I don't know how Nostradamus figured it out, but the super chemicals from my teardrops activated the other tears into a nuclear bomb, which would have made a Holocaust on Earth. Jimmy will never know the fantastic power he held in his hands.
It looks like
enough power to wipe out the Earth. The end.
It looks like Superman is thrusting his crotch at a nuclear explosion.
And he's so freaking proud of that, too. He's like there we go.
Singes the little hairs on my wiener.
See, when I switch us to this side, then we can look at each other. And
hello.
Hey,
how's it going? Karoom.
Karoom. Yeah, no. So there you go.
Yeah, that was
all
dumb.
the tears to make an atomic bomb, but
I want to know what's in the rest of that damn book.
they were all faded. We didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Do we? Hold on. Let's look at Nostradamus' failed.
You don't think he was right 100% of the time?
I mean,
Is that what you're telling me?
yeah,
Boy, that is a real letdown.
I think so. What are some predictions that Nostradamus? One example that has been I'm like one of the Sims or the teacher in Charlie Brown. One example of a prediction that has been debunked by science is Nostradamus' supposed prediction of the end of the world in 1999.
Oh.
In one of his quatrains, he mentioned the year 1999, 7th month, which led to speculation that he was predicting a catastrophic event. Instead, he was talking about the day that the new Pokemon came out. There's nothing else there. But
it's the day that the man threw the baseball real hard into the ground.
I thought he hit the baseball real hard into the ground.
He can do either.
Oh, here's a list.
Look at the guys on your shirt. He's throwing a baseball, but he's missing the ground.
But he's not hitting it into the ground.
He missed the ground.
So he was wrong, apparently, about Oliver Cromwell's rise to power.
Okay.
He was wrong about Turkey conquering the Balkans.
Sure.
He was wrong about the French Revolution.
Okay.
The capture of the Persian king by Egypt.
Okay.
We already talked about 1999.
All these seem like perfectly respectable predictions.
Whatever. There's stuff he got wrong.
The king's rise to
But he did not get wrong
power.
about you mixing tears to create powers.
No, because he was always right up until 1969.
Yep. There you go. So that was our longer than usual World's Finest Wednesday because we talked about Judge Bears.
Here's what I want you to learn from this episode, right? We're going to wrap this all up, and I'm going to give you some things to take away, some things to learn about, some things to ruminate on for the next few days. Okay?
Until we come back on Monday.
This is to the audience.
Okay. Do I need to?
No, you can just pay attention.
Okay.
You can interject anytime you want.
Okay.
1, Nostradamus was never wrong.
Okay.
2, bears can be judges.
All bears might be judges.
And we miss them all. 3, wet books work fine.
After centuries underwater.
And 4, Superman loves to thrust his nuts at nuclear explosions. Those are the 4 things I want you to take home with you and ruminate
cries
on.
At pictures of the graves of his dead.
He does. He cries. Well, at videos.
Videos of them.
I want to know how these videos of Smallville were taken. It's 1969, right? We're probably thinking, 10 years ago? I mean, I think if we're
50s?
being...
Yeah.
Right? So it's 50s. So it would have to be with some sort of little box camera.
Like an 8
or
millimeter?
An 8 millimeter or something. I don't even know if there was color at that time in those.
Well, here's the thing: is how it's got to be so small. Well, he has microscopic vision, so maybe he can zoom in and be like, "Yep, that's their graves right there." But how would you be able to make out? Because it seemed like it was from the road, it wasn't him going through.
No, it seemed. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It seemed like.
I know I am, but you can say that again.
It seemed like somebody else shot it, and Superman was just viewing it, right? And I just need to know.
Maybe his parents did.
His parents,
and this is where we will be.
This is where we'll be, and isn't it pretty?
So,
Superman, now cry your ass off.
They're still alive. He just gets sad at the thought.
They were just like, fuck this. This is enough with this kid, and they just killed themselves.
Wow, that's a dark turn to end this. So there you go. That's our World's Finest Wednesday.
Well, no, I didn't mean they actually killed themselves.
Superman's saddest day.
What I meant was they pretended to be dead, and they killed themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I got to know. Thank you
they
so
threw
much
a baseball real hard into each
for
other.
taking the time out to watch or to listen to this.
Oh, that's the 5th thing.
What?
Throw a baseball real hard into the ground.
Thank you guys for taking the time out to watch, to listen to however
Thanks,
you partake of this, even the shorts that might be from this. This part's not going to be in here, but thank you from this. We appreciate it all very much. The comments, everything. Honestly, it means a lot to us, and I appreciate it all very much. I ask you to make sure to check out the other great podcasts on the Rogue Media Network family of podcasts.
RogueMediaNetwork.com.
And until next time, stay safe, everybody.
Hey, golly con, and throw a baseball real hard into my nuts.
Or the ground.
Or the ground. Either one.
Frozen. foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about pros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.